So today I would like to review this game I played 3 years ago. 3 years ago in the Hong Kong National Juniors U18 group, and it was the final round, and I was playing against the leader of the tournament. I was no longer in contention of first place. I was just playing my last round, and then I just hope for the best. But he needed a draw to win the whole tournament. And this game is one of the most memorable games I played. Like, it's not particularly impressive, but it meant a lot for me because the tournament didn't go well and I managed to win this game. So it was really good. Um, and recently, like, what triggered me to review this game after 3 years is that I met my opponent in another tournament just recently, and we talked about this game, and he asked me if I heard him offering a draw early on in the game, and actually I did not. I told him I did not, and he asked me, "Well, would you have taken the draw if you heard it?" And said no. Actually, perhaps I would. I'm not sure, but my instinct is that I will not take the draw because I would probably try to fight. But sad for him, he could not win the U18 group at the time. I think he was third or something like that. Basically, he didn't win. He couldn't win it. So yeah, it's a nice little memory, I guess, for both of us. And sadly, he won't. He's moving, so he won't be playing local tournaments anymore, probably, or not anytime soon. So yeah. But anyway, let's get back into the game. So I was white. So e4, d6. So he played the peers. F4, very standard. Bishop G7, Knight F3, castles, Bishop D3, Knight C6, castles, E5. So I think these are pretty standard. I don't know too much theory, but it's pretty standard. So F E5, D E5, and then D5. I think, yeah. I think the theory is actually D5, but or maybe D5 is like better, but I'm not sure. In the time I was already out of prep here, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, I took FE, takes D5, knight B4. Here I played bishop E3 because I didn't want to move the bishop. So like I don't mind developing my queen up if he takes. And I thought, okay, I should just develop. So I played bishop E3, takes, knight D8. I think knight E8 was with the idea of F5. And also the knight is not really doing much here. After 98, I had a think. I remember. I still remember. I had a think, and I played Bishop C5 with the following idea in mind, which is after 96 that I will play Knight B5, and I thought that I would create a weakness on D6 for sure. I mean, I do create a weakness, but it turns out that that weakness is not that important because I have the D pawn covering like. Even if I manage to, let's say, rook e8, takes, and then let's say bishop e3, this weakness is not really that weak. Like, it is a weakness, but there's a d5 pawn here, so I cannot double up and attack the pawn anyway. So, yeah, so it was oh, sorry for the shift. So it was quite it was a very immature mistake, I will say. I probably will not go for this plan now because it was too short-sighted, I would say. Yeah. But basically it happened. He played bishop d7. I remember my coach told me that f5 here would have been great. He played it afterwards, but here f5 actually is quite problematic if you think about it, because you just storm on the king side and break the center, and white just probably will not have a very comfortable time there. Yeah. Bishop d7 takes. Bishop e3, queen a5. I think this move was not too precise. I think if he planned f5, he should have go for it, but I'm guessing he probably hasn't seen the idea of f5 just yet at this moment. So queen a5, c4 I played. So I just want to continue playing on the queen side because I have the center development. And yeah, so that's what happened. Rook c8, rook fc1 because I want to play on the queen side. And also I cannot drop the pawn if so I cannot play rook ac1, I will drop the pawn. So f5 now, finally, and I played queen b3. So I did not see f5 during the game before he played it. So when he played it, I remember I was shocked. I took, oh, it was a rapid, by the way, 25 plus 10, I remember. Something like that, actually. Or maybe it was more. But it was rapid, basically. A long rapid. And here I spent a lot of time on this move, I remember. Firstly, calculating, well, I mean, you cannot take because it just seems like a crime. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, if you take bishop f5 or something, it just feels bad. With e3 coming along, or maybe e4 immediately. Yeah, and then you open up the e file. Yeah, it's basically too much to handle. And also, oh yeah, e4 also attacks this. Yeah, so you're just doomed. Yeah, so this was the idea. So you cannot take. And if you play like, and the threat is, might be f4. F4 is also strong, I feel. Also, fe is also very devastating. Like, imagine fe takes bishop f5. He solved all his problems, basically. And yeah, it will not be a pleasant position for white. So I spent a lot of time here. I ended up playing queen b3, which I was pretty proud of this move, queen b3. So the idea is that um, after fe, I just temporarily sacrifice a pawn and then go knight g5. And this pawn is actually gone. So, for example, if bishop f5, there's always d5. And then, like, this diagonal opens up, and then I have very good counterplay. So, for example, um, I don't know, like, if takes d6, check, king h8, I can go check, and then, yeah, you have to take. So, the idea is that there's knight g5 here after fe, so that there's counterplay on the king through this diagonal, and also the queen knight combo giving checks and probably winning an exchange and the game probably. But that did not happen. Like, he of course did not do anything like that. He did not play bishop f5, for example. He understood that the pawn is gone, so he played queen a6 and then c5. So I think I was feeling quite good in this position. I did not think of recapturing the pawn because the knight on g5 actually might come to e6, which is a very strong square if I manage to do it. And yeah, I think I was in good positional mood in this game. Not positional, but like now I was having a good feel, I guess. c5, bishop a4, and then queen b4, and then dc. So of course it is important not to play dc immediately because of the discovery. So it would be better to play, oh sorry, it would be better to play bishop a4 first, chase the queen away from the diagonal, and then take dc. Here rook c5, bishop c5 is played, and then rook to d8. So I was very happy in this position, I remember, because there is the e6 square, and I have some attack going on, and the king seems very, very weak, and also the passed d pawn seems really good. So I was happy. So yeah, queen e4. I thought it was time to capture the pawn, defend d5, just stabilize everything first. Queen b5, knight e6, rook e8, bishop e3. Bishop e3 I played, I remember, with little time on the clock. So the idea was that after, let's say he takes on b2, probably go rook c1 and then invade. Yeah, and this was the plan. So for example, if, I don't know, queen a2, rook c7 might be good. Perhaps. I'm not too sure. Rook c7. Okay. It's not best, but we can always take first and then go rook c7. Yeah. I guess this makes sense, yeah. King g8, probably, I don't know, bishop h6, something like that. Oh wow. Okay. That's not good. Let me think. Okay, the engine suggests h3 just because, well, you want to do everything that we said, but we don't want to get mated. So, yeah. Okay, makes sense. I'll probably h3. Just play it slow. Yeah. And then do whatever you want. Alright. So this happened. No, no, this did not happen, sorry. So 96 was in the game. And here he played queen e2, rook d1, similar to what we discussed. And he played queen e2 here, and I remember in the game, I was extremely, like, I was shocked. I was really shocked. And I played knight takes g7, and he just collapsed on the table. Like, he was very sad. And he played rook e7, knight e6. And actually, I still remember, like, I'm really quite impressed by how he find the resource. So, like, so we were both down on time, and he still managed to find this, which I think is pretty incredible. He played rook e6, d6, and a bishop c6. I still remember this moment, that it's really impressive. Like, he managed to find this. I don't think I would be able to find this. Firstly, giving back the exchange is a very stupid option because you get mated immediately, queen e1. And then you have to think about what happens. So if you want, so basically, there's a mate. So if you move the queen randomly, then it's just mate. So the point is that you must play e7, which fortunately I did. And king f7. And then, since you've already vacated this diagonal, you can play queen c4 with check. And then queen c4, you must do. And then you just up a rook. Other ideas like queen c2 is not the best because you take the bishop. Instead, you have a lot of counterplay on this diagonal. Like, this is a very, very, very strong bishop, and you still have problems to solve as white. So fortunately, the best move, I was able to find e7, and we played on for a bit, but it was not really too important. Yeah, it was just, yeah. Yeah, I think usually in these converting positions, I just take it very, very slowly. I don't need to rush. I just I just go for it. Yeah. Here rook b7. Here, rook b7, because if bishop takes, queen takes, the bishop just covers and this pawn just automatically rolls down the board. So he didn't play that. Yeah, and queen takes. Yeah, yeah, I just played on. Yeah, here I just created this for a king to go back and forth until I have a queen, and then yeah, it was just good. I'm pretty sure I did not play g8 rook out of disrespect because I never did anything like that. And I never underpromoted just because for such reasons I probably did that because there was no queen on the board because there isn't really extra queens. There weren't. So yeah. But anyway, it was a good game. Yeah, I guess it's memorable for both of us. And yeah, after this game, we actually met in some other tournaments before, like we say hi or something like that. But yeah, it was a good game, I think, and I'm pretty satisfied about it. Yeah. So, and also I'm going to play classical again soon in the open. So let's see how those games go. Yeah, that's great.